The MoneroTopia weekly news segment is sponsored by WizardSwap.io, a non-custodial cryptocurrency exchange. Nice. Oh.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Happy weekend.
Happy weekend. All is well?
Yeah, all is good. So I'm going to watch the YouTube chat as well. So if you guys have any questions throughout the news section, you can go ahead. I see a couple people saying hello, HBS, aloha, Kevin, hello. So everybody, hello. Okay, so let's get into the news section. First thing we talked about.
Wait, hold on. I see for some. Hold on a second. Stop sharing. Do you have the MoneroTopia website on?
Yeah, I was gonna show my code.
Okay. I was like, I'm confused because I just had that. Okay, cool. All right, take it away.
I know, I saw. Yeah, so before we get into the news section, so they just talked about a conference, and then in case you decided to go ahead and buy the ticket, before you do, just use my code because you're gonna get a discount. So you go to the website, and I recommend getting the VIP. You have 9 days before tickets go up a little bit. So if you want to get early bird tickets, you get 9 days. VIP ticket is just awesome. You get to hang out at dinner and talk to everybody. I mean, you get to talk to them anyway, but you just get a lot more, like the dinner, swag. So if you do decide to get this one, or it applies to any other ticket, you add to cart, and then you apply the code Tony24, and then you're gonna get a discount. I think there's a couple other codes. I think Tux has a code. There's the MoneroTopia code, which I'm not sure which one it is. I know mine.
I know Havino has a code.
Havino, I think maybe Body has a code. But so you can use either one. But make sure to use the code. You get a little discount to your ticket. Also, like shortwave, if you if you like to add anything on the news, go ahead, man. So
go ahead.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun. It's interactive. Okay, so first thing we're gonna discuss. Somebody posted on the Monero subreddit. Is this real guys? He posted a screenshot of Cointelegraph, and they were talking about Chainanalysis. It's just doing its job in quotations, which could make Monero more secure. Basically talked about Chainanalysis essentially, unquote, breaking Monero, and he was just wondering if that's real. But then Monero Bull commented, TLDR, too long didn't read, no. From Tux Pizza on Twitter, just to sum it up, Monero is not broken, traceable, honeypot, whatever. This is important to know. Chainanalysis is using spy nodes to correlate IPs to users' transactions and attempting to corroborate it with other info like IPs from other parties to attempt to trace where funds have gone, as well as using tools to make guesses on eliminating decoys. So if you're concerned about it, this is what's happening. But you should run your own code, essentially, and the problem is solved. Adding on top of this, let's go to this post on X by XMR Street. So he said, we got infiltrated, delete node.moneroworld.com now. So somebody else posted on X, why kick wallet Vic, why? And now deleted, and the article says, and now deleted an actively censored training video from Chainanalysis, a blockchain analysis company, revealed Monero RPC logs seemingly from a popular public Monero node called node.moneroworld.com. Many wallets like Kick Wallet and Monero included in their list of default public nodes. So, and people commented with thanks, and then I just deleted this node from Cake Wallet. So somebody else says the problem isn't directly Monero World. Chainanalysis did DNS hijacking to spoof the server for redirecting users to honeypots. Then XMR Street responded with Monero World is honeypot, and there should be a thorough investigation into how they were able to infiltrate to be considered a trusted node of the community. Somebody else said the just run your nodes folks missed the point. Most users had no idea. They were told their transactions are private. Privacy that is technically possible but not achieved by the majority of the users is no privacy at all. Just like Telegram encryption, you got scammed. XMR Street replied, lol, yes, it's bad, but not as bad as you'd like it to make. as you'd like to make it out to be. The amounts and addresses are still fully encrypted, so if you don't end your write in the CX, there's not much they can do unless you use your clear IP. Yeah, so if you do see node.moneroworld.com, probably make sure that you don't use it, to delete it, and run your own node. So new posting on XMR Bazaar. It's a cleaning service. It's titled Atomic Swab Squad Dirt Mining Cleaning Services. Location is in New York. Form of payment, Monero direct payment. And Doug wrote on X, do I take the bait and hire the feds to come clean my home? I should make them come.
See, that one made me laugh when I saw it. I'm like, ooh, that's funny, because I read their description. I'm like, oh, that's really good. And my thought was, maybe those guys should contact the grocery store in Astoria, because if that grocery store needs cleaning and they hire an external service to do it, well, there's an option to get some Monero.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah, and that's actually that's a good idea. And then if the store actually, they need cleaning, obviously, but unless the guy does it, he can hire these people and he can use the Monero that people used for the groceries. That's
exactly.
a good idea. Yeah, so that's a good idea. But yeah, he said I should have them come clean during a MoneroTopia live stream. At least I'll have everyone watching. Honestly, though, I gotta pinch myself when I see listings like this on XMR Bazaar, especially in New York City. We're witnessing the dawn of a global Monero circular economy. Use it and we win. Let's go on XMR Bazaar just for a little bit. Yeah, but that's cool. Whether it's the Fed or not, if you need cleaning services, then you can go on XMR Bazaar in this listing, and you can hire these people if you're in New York City. They wrote, "I retired of living in a messy apartment that looks like a failed crypto mining operation. You want your home to shine brighter than the future of centralized finance? Look no further. The Atomic Swap Squad is here to scrub away your worries, except in Monero." Cool. So that's a cool listing. And just to go on XMR Bazaar, take a look a little bit. There's a lot of, it's been growing quite a bit. It's cool you have the XMR price at the top if you're wondering how much it is. And let's go to automobile. People have been posting from services from cleaning to cooking things for you, selling you foods from all over the world to you can buy big stuff like automobiles. And so somebody's selling their Mitsubishi Outlander for Monero. Somebody is offering car detailing, and that's cool. Car batteries and accessories. So there's all kinds of listings on XMR Bazaar. There's jobs, books. Let's see what books actually people have posted. Is nobody selling 1984? That should be a book that the Adam and Eve story. So The Hobbit, African Artists, The Real Anthony Fauci, Robert F. Kennedy, Everything You Need to Know by what's his name? David Icke. Okay, no, that's cool. I bet there should be 1984 somewhere on XMR Bazaar under this section. Yeah, and there's a lot of posts, and each section is like a couple pages. So if you want to buy something using your Monero, if you want to sell something, you can go to XMR Bazaar and you can do so. You can even buy US gift cards, NVIDIA graphics card, electrical support. Yeah, so a lot of stuff. Moving on. So also, guys, make sure to like and share. That helps us a lot. Now, I want to discuss the presidential debate between Trump and Harris. I think it's very important because it really does affect. I've seen comments of people saying how foreigners are watching this like it's comedy. I don't think it's comedy. And I'm saying this as a European that has been living in the US for some time, and it does affect the whole world, like whatever happens in the US. We've seen the Ukraine war happening because of the Biden administration and a lot of bad things. So the U.S. politics, whether you like it or not, it's a sad comedy. A fairly reasonable investor said, yes, it's a sad comedy. So, but if you really take a look, 2008, where did it start? America. Like they are the culprit of reverberating in the whole world. So whatever happens here, it's going to go into the whole world. So it's really, really important who's going to become president. Do we want Kamala? And then we're going to see 4 years of darkness, essentially. But then I guess it's going to be so bad that people have to wake up. But in the same time, we'll be placed into such a system that'll be hard to escape from, especially with technology. We're talking 4 years. Now it's 2024. From 2024 to 2028, it's going to be a lot of technological change with AI and such like that, things like that. So they can, in 4 years, they can do a lot more damage than they used to be able to, just because of technology, and they can enslave you much better now. So I recommend that you watch it. I watched the whole thing live. I thought that the moderators didn't ask the harsh questions that they should have to Kamala. Somebody said, do we want Secretary Booty Cheeks? Do we want 4 years of a president who thinks central banking is great, or 4 years of different president who thinks central banking is great? Huh. Right. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, so I mean, not that I'm a Trump fan, but it's just kind of choosing the lesser evil. Plus, it's interesting that he partnered with Robert F. Kennedy, and Elon essentially is going to jump board. But then you also have to think about, and this all does, we're talking about politics, but it does relate to Monero. I mean, we're using Monero because politics and all they're doing to the economy forced us to have created Monero. So it's important to talk about this stuff. Let's just watch a little bit. Let's just watch this part of the video, and then we'll move on, and then we'll discuss this a little bit more. And if you guys have anything to add in the YouTube comments, Trump is the lesser of the two evils, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I would say so. Again, nobody should be like a maximalist in any direction. Whether you're a Bitcoin maximalist or a Trump or Harris maximalist, I don't encourage that for sure. Just who's the lesser evil. But also, when you think about their relationship to, when somebody said, sorry, comments coming in, Watchman privacy, make your voice heard, don't vote. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, essentially, if nobody voted, but people are going to vote. So then I guess you need to put your vote towards the lesser evil that you believe in. Because if you don't vote, then that's not, I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I'm not quite sure. But I have thought about that. Of the issues they talk about, the two most important ones are war and crypto. Trump is better on both of those. Yes, especially when it comes to war. So I do, and actually the part that which we're going to watch right now, it's about her saying that the world leaders think Trump, they just think badly of Trump and they're just laughing at him, essentially, which I'm no expert. I've read a couple books, watched some interviews, but I mean, I would say that that's not true. And I would think that I would much more see him shake hands with Putin, Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping than her, and actually, make a deal and make sure that they don't just run the world and do whatever they want. So we do need a strong leader that, not that they fear, but they know that they shouldn't really mess with. And we've seen Putin talking about nuclear wars in the past, and that if anybody steps into what they're doing, like any European country, then, or NATO, whoever, they're going to use nuclear weapons, and you won't even be able to blink because everything will just be destroyed. They have a lot of nuclear weapons. They're really powerful people. So it's really important who is going to be the future president. Let's just watch this part.
Again, divide and distract from the reality, which is, it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators wants to be a dictator on day one, according to himself. It is well known that he said of Putin that he can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was brilliant. It is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un. And it is absolutely well known that these dictators and autocrats are rooting.
We lost audio.
Oh, have we? At what point were you able to hear a little bit, or you just lost it previously?
Yeah, we heard that he wrote love letters to Kim Jong-un,
Okay.
and that was about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can stop. It's okay. I just wanted to play that part. Also, just to interrupt a little bit, John Doe said YouTube seems to have hidden my chat, but basically, Monero World isn't a node, nor is the owner malicious. It's a domain which points to other nodes by region, any of which could have been compromised. Thanks, John Doe. Yeah, but coming back to this, so I haven't heard of anything that could confirm her claims. And actually, there's a video of Putin, of him endorsing, essentially, in a way, Kamala, but he was very, I think he was very sarcastic when he was talking about Kamala, because then he has 4 more years of doing whatever he wants, essentially. So I don't know where she got those claims from of these leaders, eagerly waiting for Trump to get back, just so that they can do whatever they want, and that they're just laughing about him and all these love letters and whatever she claimed. I think it's quite the opposite. Everybody laughs at her because, one, she can't talk really, and to be honest, the way she talks and the way she presents herself is quite irritating. Just watching her explaining stuff and things of that nature. John Doe said, or maybe the Monero World owner is malicious. Who knows? But this is a more likely explanation. Thanks, John. Yeah, so it was a lot of stuff in this debate. I wish they touched upon other more specific topics about what their administration have been doing for the past couple of years, the Biden administration. But the big question that Trump asked is, what have they done so far, and why are they not, like, all these things that they are saying that they're going to do, why they're not doing it now? They have the power now for the next couple of months. They can literally do it now, like the next day after the debate. They can, but just empty promises. And as we have seen, she is she wants a lot of communistic. She has a lot of communistic ideals about the future that she wants to implement. I mean, price gouging. Like, she wants to set fixed prices for things, which hasn't worked in the past. Look at communist countries. Then stuff like taxing unrealized gains. So that's not a huge one. Basically, you look at the assets that you haven't sold, like your house, whatever, at the end of the year, and pay taxes on it. Quite crazy. Okay, it's time to move on, guys. We still have quite a bit of stuff, but this is still pertaining to the debate. And again, we're only talking about politics, maybe sometimes more than Monero specific news, just because it does affect the whole system, and it's just to show how crazy the whole political game is in our economy, and that we're very fortunate to have Monero, and that's why it came about. And with time, it's only going to become more of a need and more of an amazing thing. It's like, imagine having Monero in 1984. Like, if imagine yourself in that book by George Orwell, and you have this thing called Monero. Monero. I mean, what kind of? That's an amazing freedom. But this is a footage release showing President Biden and Kamala Harris being met with silence when they enter a room full of firefighters. Donald Trump walked in behind them and was met with standing ovation. So let's watch this a little bit.
Was there audio with that? Because we didn't hear it if there was.
Oh, no, not really. They're just like people only talking, but not really. Can you
Okay.
hear this?
Just making sure.
Nothing much, but you should be able to hear this when he walks in. So let's hear this. Are you able to hear anything?
Nope.
Really?
Really.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Okay.
You forgot to press the button, didn't you?
Oh my God. No, I forgot to share that because now I shared tab by tab. And that's how I was able to. Okay, there we go.
There's the audio. Okay.
So walking in, they're just looking at them and they're looking at them back and she's smiling. He's confused. But then Trump walks in, and again, I'm no Trumpist, but just to kind of display what that population likes. Trump walking in, ovation, they're talking, laughing. So, yeah, just different. Then, so during the debate, which I'm not sure what to say about it, but Trump said that Joe hates Kamala, and just a couple days later, a firefighter just gave Biden a Trump hat, which he wore, actually. So that's quite interesting. So let's see this historic moment. He's smiling, he's happy. The guy said he's proud of him now for wearing the Trump hat. So yeah, he seemed happy with that hat. So yeah, that was quite interesting. This is not to back the claim that he hates Kamala or anything, but it's just quite interesting. I don't know why he did that, but he probably doesn't know either. Quickly. Oh no, I didn't. I need to. I'm sorry, I didn't share the tab. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna show you this one part. There we go. So you guys can see it. I keep forgetting to share the next tab. I'm sorry. Now moving on. So he said that in Ohio and certain states, people like the immigrants, they're eating the cats, the dogs. Somebody made a song about it. We're not gonna play the whole thing. You can watch it by yourself, but we'll just play a little bit.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
It's actually pretty good. It's kind of funny. Then let's talk about world liberty finance. Eric Trump said, "Crypto is the future. I'm all in." And this is Donald Trump. He posted this on September 12th. So let's watch this.
Join me live on Twitter Spaces at 8 p.m. this September 16th for the launch of World Liberty Financial. We're embracing the future with crypto and leaving the slow and outdated big banks behind.
Okay, September 16th. So we're going to have to tune in to see what this is about and talk about it on the next news section. World Liberty Fi. That's interesting. Bureau of Scans, fake tokens, and airdrops. So, okay, we're not live yet. Okay. That's interesting. So I guess we'll hear more about it on September 16th. Okay. I wonder when he's going to endorse Monero. Hopefully he's going to mention it one day. If not, it's kind of sketchy. Now let's talk about more politics. This one, It's crazy. So essentially, well, let's go back. Sweden gives you $35,000 for free to move back to your home country. This will incentivize more fake refugees to come to Sweden, hang out for a year or two on their welfare system, that then apply for the free $35,000 to move back to their home country. They said a so-called remigration check is viewed as a win-win, as migrants who don't feel at home in Sweden will be able to reestablish themselves in their home countries, while the Swedish welfare system is spared decades of expenses. Okay, Swedes believe that the remigration check will be a particularly interesting option for larger families who want to move back home together to buy a house or some land. A family of four could afford a fairly luxurious house back in many parts of Africa or the Middle East with a combined budget of USD 140,000 from their remigration checks. That's a lot of money, and it's just going to incentivize people from Africa in these countries to just come to Europe, come to Sweden, hang out, get some free money, and go back. So Mr. Anderson said, "What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck?" I mean, not to. Just these people tend to be less educated, and they're causing a lot of trouble. I have nothing against anybody from anywhere, but when you're causing a problem and you tend to be less educated, that's a problem. So, yay, more immigrants, which I have no problem with, but with this, they're just going to come in, hang out, ruin the country in Europe, and just leave back with a lot of money. Hell, I mean, just get your whole family and move there. You're going to get a lot of money and move back to your home country. Mr. Anderson said, "Will Sweden be like, there's so much money falling out of my pocket. Would someone please take some of my money?" It's not bad. You live for 1-2 years. You barely make $100 per month in your country. You get $35,000 to go back. That's good. Interesting. So that's more weaponized immigration. This is ludicrous. Yeah, it's cheaper to pay them to leave than it is to support them forever. God, seriously? How? That's crazy. What a hustle. Bleeding the West dry, essentially. Yeah, so I don't think that's a great idea at all. But yeah, I guess that's what they want to do. Just ruin Europe and their country. Let's watch this video. So Josh Sweetheart posted on X, sadly much of crypto has lost its cypherpunk ethos, seeking to play by rules set by powers behind elevated desks. Here he is normalizing the violation of the Fourth Amendment, and the crypto industry is quick to assert compliance. Privacy should be protected, not vilified. And yeah, 99% of the cryptos in the space are just accumulating people's money, pumping, dumping it, and doing nothing really. Just losing people's money and time. Well, some people make money off of them, which good for you. But I'll take that money and put it into Monero and add more liquidity. That's what I would do. Yeah, but that has been happening for a long time. Bitcoin lost its cypherpunk ethos a long time ago. And we have an interesting video coming up on that next. So let's watch this video. It's 2 minutes and 51 seconds, but it's interesting, guys. So let's take a look. Miguel66, Tony, you need to tidy up your news, make it a bit faster, less pauses, comments. We can talk afterwards. Yeah, just like with today, since Doug is doing some stuff, I'm just lengthening it a little bit, but still adding some valuable information. I hope. Usually, yeah, I try to keep it a bit more brief, and then we can talk afterwards. So that's why we're doing it more this way today. But let's watch this video.
On these things, I've looked at the mathematics behind there. I program blockchain, and by the way, Tony, I appreciate your efforts to educate Congress on this, which is a challenge. And if you ever would like to learn how to program blockchain, I would be happy to teach you.
Lost audio again.
Really? And this time I have no idea why. Like you couldn't hear anything at all?
No, we heard the first part talking about programming blockchains, and then it just died for some reason.
What? Okay, thanks for letting me know. What about now?
Is a challenge. And if you ever would like
There
to
it is.
learn how to program blockchain, I would be happy to teach you. If you go next and say, how do you implement identification and banning of bad actors in an anonymous self-hosted situation?
Thank you so much for your question, Congressman. I think there are three primary ways that it happens today. First, there's an organization called the Security Alliance, which is an organic group that monitors and works in public-private partnership with law enforcement to watch for.
And then it died again. Something is up with your system there, Tony. You might have to work that out.
Oh, that again? Okay.
Yeah, because we still, we just lose the audio. I don't know if the video is stopping playing because I'm not looking at it, but the audio definitely does stop.
Oh, okay. What if I go through, I have this one and one more video. What if I go through the stuff that are just text, and then can you share this and play it?
Is Sunita still around? Maybe she can, because I can't. That's for sure.
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think no, I don't think so.
Okay, then
Okay.
we might just have to skip. We might just have to skip the videos and put them in like the show notes or like links or whatever, so that people can look at them after the show, because that's not working right.
I'm here. Do you need assistance or something?
Yeah. Tony has some videos that aren't playing right on his end. The audio stops like 20-30 seconds in or something like that for some reason.
Okay, that's weird.
We were wondering if you could share them and see if it works on your end.
Yeah, you can send it to me in the private chat, and then I can play it.
Awesome. Secretary said maybe stop using Microsoft Windows. I actually don't use it anymore. I'm on Monero. I can
that's probably why.
Yeah, man, it's actually I got a new pair of headphones with microphones, so I should sound a lot better, but it's been such a headache to try to pair it. Yeah, Monero is not not easy.
Manjaro is good, but it's not super beginner friendly. I'm actually using Linux Mint personally, but go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't used Mint. You are enabled. I don't think
You
so.
want to send me all the links quickly, just so I have them
yeah.
ready on my end, because we got to make sure I can play them.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put them in the private chat.
All right, let's see if this works for me.
Remember, guys, if you want to send us a super chat, you can do so with XMR Chat at xmrchat.com and buy your MoneroTopia tickets.
Ooh la la. Nice show.
Excuse me, xmrchat.com/MoneroTalk. I forgot about that little part, and that's important.
Yes, that is important. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Let me see. How do I do that? This was the video. Also share tab audio. Okay, so can you guys?
Urban Hacker said I can go to Sweden and causing zero trouble. Then after a while, I just want to go back to my country and get $35,000. I will not eat cats or dogs.
Oh goodness gracious! All right, so I'm going to play this. Let me know if you hear the audio.
These things, I've looked at the mathematics behind there. I program
cool.
blockchain, and by the way, Tony, I appreciate your efforts to educate Congress on this, which is a challenge. And if you ever would like to learn how to program blockchain, I would be happy to teach you. If you go next and say, how do you implement identification and banning of bad actors in an anonymous self-hosted situation?
Thank you so much for your question, Congressman. I think there are three primary ways that it happens today. First, there's an organization called the Security Alliance, which is an organic group that monitors and works in public-private partnership with law enforcement to watch for hacks and engage in other types of activities.
But when you've identified a bad actor and the bad actor reappears with an anonymous self-hosted wallet, how do you identify the fact that you're a bad actor?
Law enforcement and blockchain analytics tools are actually able to trace a lot of this very transparently. And
a lot isn't enough. You need to be able to trace all of it, and that's, I don't believe, technically possible.
Our current system under the BSA is not 100%, but I think we should be aiming for that in the DeFi ecosystem. And there are a number of ways to handle that. I've actually made one such proposal in a paper that I co-authored, published in January, where we identify a new category called critical communications transmitters that will take on enhanced risk mitigation measures for financial integrity.
Okay, now when you've identified a bad actor, how does DeFi come together to say this is a bad actor, we're going to ban you? How do you even trace that person when people are operating multiple identities anonymously?
Sure, the critical communications transmitters will bring immediate reports to FinCEN. They won't look identical to SARS, but they'll have the type of information that will allow FinCEN and other law enforcement to be able to trace both the immediate wallet you're talking about and anything that emanates out from that as well.
But how do you trace all users of anonymous wallets? If one person's operating 12 anonymous wallets, how does that dealt with in this system?
I can say that through public-private partnerships and working with the FBI and DOJ on a number of these matters, they're actually able to trace wallets very quickly and much more quickly than the decades that it's taken to trace illicit funds in the traditional financial world.
Does that apply to the most deliberately anonymous financial products that have been made, which are made by design very hard? And this rapidly gets into classified stuff. And so if you can't talk about that, that's all right.
I can't talk too deeply about it, but I will say that funds from some of the worst actors are frozen today and unable to be moved, given the immediate identification that has happened both with industry and law enforcement working together on these issues.
Okay.
Yeah, so Watchman Privacy said, track all, good idea.
That's just another reason. That's just another reason to use Monero. Like, yeah, sure, these hacks and everything are bad, but the fact that they can be frozen by a centralized authority like that is not okay. And the fact that it's transparent is not okay.
Yeah. Kaushik B, these politicians started with tracking Monero, but just end up chasing their own tail. Essentially, yeah. Essentially. And as always, I'll take my chance with the criminals versus these politicians, right? Okay, so Peter
and criminals, like, you know what criminals want. Like, criminals are pretty transparent about what they're after. If they're going to rob a store, they're going to point a gun at you and say, give me the money. Like, you know what they want, or give me your wallet or whatever, and you hand it over and they'll go away, if nothing else. With these politicians, you don't know what they want.
Right. Right. Okay, so now in this video, Peter Thiel, in case you don't know who Peter Thiel is and why we're watching him. So he's behind PayPal, co-founder, Palantir. And we've talked about PayPal in the past when if you posted something on social media that PayPal didn't like, well, they will, that was actually crazy. They would subtract $2,500 from your account per offense. You make 2, 5,000. You make 3, 7,500. So Whitney Webb posted on X, people who keep claiming Peter Thiel is a libertarian need to qualify that he's not a free market libertarian, but a cartel market libertarian. He openly hates free market competition and favors monopolies. Even worse, his monopolies, PayPal, Palantir. He built with free-letter agencies, the CIA, the worst part of the state. Thiel is about building monopolies controlled by a cartel. He's more of a Mussolini corporatist than a libertarian. This is also the guy that made Trump's VP who he is, and he openly doesn't like the free market, yet somehow free market conservatives don't care and call me a communist and are an Iranian agent for pointing it out. Okay. Yeah, so let's go ahead and watch a little bit of this video, but man, it's interesting.
The first theme is this idea that you know, and I sort of frame it as and this is probably the maybe the single overarching theme is that we think of capitalism and competition as synonyms, and I believe they are antonyms. I believe that a capitalist is someone who's in the business of accumulating capital. A world of perfect competition is a world where all the profits are competed away. So if you want to compete in a crazy way, you should open a restaurant. You will never make any money doing so. And at the other end of the spectrum, what I think everybody who is a founder or entrepreneur should aim to do is build a monopoly. And all the great companies that people have built are monopolies of one sort or another. And I sort of use Google as the extreme example on the other end, where it's an extremely capitalistic company. It makes enormous amounts of profits. And it's so capitalistic because it's had no competition since 2002, when it definitively distanced itself from Microsoft and Yahoo in the core search business.
Yeah, so essentially, he's pro monopolies. Now, there's a lot of discussion when XMR chat from MoneroTopia doesn't seem to work for me. Is there anyone facing the issue? Yeah, there's a couple people actually. We're gonna look into it. I'm not sure why it's not working.
Oh, that's fun. I was not aware of that. Okay.
Yeah.
What did they say is not working?
XMR chat.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll get right on.
I haven't tested it, but apparently XMR chat's not working properly right now.
No,
Sad
there's
face.
people.
We will let Fiat Damas know and look into
Yeah.
it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Also, thank you for trying to tip us. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We should, gonna try to get it back up as soon as we can. Yeah. So there's a lot of discussions when it comes to monopolies, but he's encouraging monopolies, essentially, and yeah, it's quite crazy what he's doing. Let's watch.
Which one do you want to play next?
Maybe let's actually skip this one and let's go to
The Whitney Webb, you mean?
Yeah, let's go to the one with the biggest banks. So it should be the last.
Which one is that one? The last one?
Yeah,
the last one you sent me was Whitney Webb.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That one? Okay.
Yeah.
So here you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, okay, so let's just discuss it a little bit, and then we'll just watch the video. We've been talking about this for quite some time, and Planto, one man wants to impose other, the same history from centuries ago. Not gonna work here, right? Whitney Webb wrote, and we've been talking about this for quite some time. And essentially, what's happening into the Bitcoin infrastructure is the biggest banks and cadre. I'm not sure how to say that with an English accent. Cadre, or spooky currency speculators have funded and now control most of the infrastructure underlying Bitcoin. We talked about this: energy, chips, ISPs, plus general crypto infrastructure. Plus, we talked in one episode that they stamp Bitcoin that they mined. So made in and where it was made. USA, China, which opens a lot more discrimination, and it's just not feasible for a currency. And plus, like, made in could, if it's in a certain country, could be valued less than if it's made in whatever other country. Like, say, made in Switzerland is worth a lot more than made in China, whatever. With the openly stated goal of having it be only an asset you don't and can't spend, it's not good for spending, and essentially, as we all know, and yeah, the US government and the small elite faction hold most of the Bitcoin, and once their financial control grid is complete, inflate its price through the roof. As Catherine Austin Fitts has said of the elite's plans, once you steal everything, you want to move to a disinflationary system. These elites, who have a lot of ties to the Epstein network, hold so much Bitcoin collectively, and when currencies implode, which is something the currency speculators who back so much key crypto infrastructure have probably done in the past, pumping gold and silver, instead would make too many other actors, including other governments like China and Russia, very wealthy, while pumping Bitcoin will make only a specific, largely US-based cabal very wealthy. When they collapse currencies, they will buy up everything they didn't manage to buy up during COVID and then install their new and beyond a Bitcoin as a reserve asset. So quite a lot to unpack. Let's watch the video. It's 1 minute.
There are only 21 million Bitcoin. There never will be more Bitcoin. When people want to acquire something, it has to go up in price, just like when an artist dies. right? People pay $3 million for some spray paint on bricks in a place in London because Banksy says he did it, right? So don't give me a story about there's no value to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is valuable because people believe it's valuable. That's the only reason the dollar has value. It's because everybody in this room thinks the dollar has value. Bitcoin as an asset class is the perfect asset. It's hard money. And that's something I believe you'll see. Countries hold Bitcoin. You'll see more and more companies like Mara, like MicroStrategy, like lots of other companies hold Bitcoin. You'll see financial institutions hold Bitcoin. And as soon as the banks in the US are able to custody and collateralize Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin will explode.
Well said.
Yeah. So, yeah, right. Kevin said that's a nice pitch, right? So, essentially, the Bitcoin is good because people believe in it. That's why it works, and it's just belief. And we have to use the US dollar or the euro. It doesn't mean that we believe in it or that we want it. We're just forced to use it. Before 1971, I think it used to be backed by gold. It used to be, so it wasn't just monopoly. Then they just decorrelated themselves, and now it's monopoly. They can just print as they do as much as they want. Before they couldn't because it's tied to a certain amount of physical gold, and we haven't reached the point of alchemy where we can produce as much gold as possible, because that's going to be a problem. But so then Bitcoin is just...
the key thing there too is also saying as soon as banks can collateralize it, it will skyrocket in price.
Right.
That's also at the moment when Bitcoin basically has been fiatized, when all Bitcoin is just held by large institutions, when 99% of all Bitcoin is held by large institutions, and basically nobody's holding their Bitcoin anymore. Effectively, you fiatize Bitcoin at that point.
Right. Yeah. So I'm not sure people don't see this in Bitcoin, and they're still maximalists, but hopefully one day they will. But yeah, there's a lot of issues when it comes to Bitcoin, from the cap to making it transparent, hence traceable, a lot, and we've talked about it in the past. Last thing, Dan Smots, libertarian propagandist, Illuminati, wrote on X, are the post-libertarians vindicated yet? And then Fiat Demise wrote, do you take super chats from viewers on your show? And somebody else said they banned Dan from super chats. Well, if you're banned from that, take a look at XMR Chat, a way to get super chats paid with crypto. It works with StreamYard and very soon OBS to display the messages on screen. You can also just read messages off the site too.
Regarding XMR Chat, we also, and this is probably why we're seeing an issue, is we just recently launched the ability to use it via OBS. So initially, it was just by StreamYard, connected in via Twitch, and it works. It does work when it's working. It works very beautifully and seamlessly. Very easy for the streamer to just add the super chats live. But now we've added functionality so you can do that with OBS as well. And I assume when we updated the code to add that functionality, that's why we're seeing an error today. So we'll get that fixed.
Awesome. That's actually big.